Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we are tracking fire weather, high wind, and snow across the U.S. So a little bit of everything today. Those high winds, not only is that going to cause a lot of problems if you want to get on the roofs today, but also if you are headed out and worried about that fire concern. It's going to elevate the fire danger today. Over 10 states are in those wind alerts. We have rounds of weekend snow, so there's several rounds that we are watching for here where we could see snow anywhere from the Northeast and the Midwest as far south as Oklahoma and Tennessee. And we are gaining daylight. Yes, have you noticed that as you drive back home from work, you are still seeing the sunshine? You're not driving in the dark anymore? Meteorologist Michaela Smith is going to break down how much daylight we're going to be gaining in both the sunset and the sunrise in just a few minutes. Taking a look at your 24 or 48-hour storm reports here. While I mentioned we have a lot of weather to talk about, none of that is severe weather. Over the last 48 hours, we have not seen a single report. I don't think so. No reports at all? Nope. On our weather maps, it's been very, very quiet for severe weather. But we still have a lot to talk about. Several cold fronts moving through the U.S. right now. One that just moved through Texas, so we just saw that go through Dallas. It's just north of Houston at the moment. You can see that this cold front is driving a lot of that moisture, rain, and snow all the way up the Midwest. And then we've got a second cold front that's moving through the northern plains right now. Which of those is going to bring you snow? We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. More snow showers already popping up across the Northeast, across the Midwest. I'm not too worried about your snow accumulation in these areas unless you're right on the river. You could see some lake. You could see some lake effect snow in these areas. Quiet down in the southeast. We've got a few light sprinkles in Tulsa. I did see some snow reported in Kansas earlier today. Just a few flurries. And I think that's going to be a very common thing over the next few days. Just a few flurries, not even enough to coat the ground. So I know you heard me say that four-letter word, snow. Are we going to actually see a ton of snow across the U.S.? It's just too dry. We've got the temperatures for it. You can see 26 in Minneapolis, 27 in Fort Wayne. It will get colder farther down to the south. And all of that thanks to a low pressure system. This low pressure system that's sitting in the Midwest right now, and this high pressure system out to the west, they're pretty strong. And what is going on here is they're so close together is we have a drastic drop in pressure across the U.S. Right in the middle of these two systems is the reason why it is so windy. So your high winds are going to be the strongest anywhere from the plains all the way down to the southern plains. So we're talking about Oklahoma and Texas here. And that is why we have that elevated fire danger for today and tomorrow. Now this high pressure system, it'll slowly move out over the next 3 or 4 days, and that'll finally bring us some change in this forecast. We've been talking about a little bit of snow and high winds for several days now. Unfortunately, still we're not seeing any storms out there, so no severe thunderstorms are expected. No hail. We always show our significant hail model. This is the quietest I think I've ever seen it in my time here at HailTrace. I mean, we have had just day after day after day of no hail, but we still have a lot of weather. So let's go to your wind reports first. So your wind watches here, we've got a high wind watch highlighted there in gold that goes all the way through this evening. A wind advisory as well for portions of Kansas, central Kansas, including Wichita. High wind warning, and then a red flag warning for those fire concerns down in western Oklahoma. We also have winter weather advisories, so some of us are getting significant snow, but not all of us here. Here, we'll talk about the wind first, and then we'll go to snow. All right, here's your wind. Strongest wind gusts are going to be across the western plains. What we're talking about here is up to 70, maybe 80 mile per hour wind speeds. Very, very strong wind gusts here. And that's going to cause a lot of problems for travelers on the highways. Oftentimes, whenever we see winds these strong, we see those highways get shut down. We see more wrecks in the areas. Also, we're going to see that fire concern elevate as we head into later this afternoon into the late night hours. And all of this thanks to the drought that's ongoing across Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Texas. Unfortunately, that drought is increasing. It's spreading. You know that it's dry out there whenever you step on the grass. Do you hear that crunch? What that is extremely dry grass, extremely dry leaves That will fuel any fire that gets started. If a fire gets started, you've got tons of fuel for it, and it gets spread very, very easily because of those high winds. So it's kind of like the perfect storm for high fire danger today. We have very dry conditions out there as well. What you're looking at here is your forecasted dew points. The wider or more purple these colors are, the lower the dew point, oftentimes in the single digits. This could be why maybe your lips are chapped today. Maybe you need some more lotion on those hands. Very, very dry conditions will stick around all the way through the weekend. This will also help for those temperatures to drop really, really low in the overnight hours, and then a bit warmer if the sun can come out, because we've got very, very dry air. Temperatures can fluctuate very, very easily. This dry air sticks around all the way through Sunday, and so do those strong winds. We see that all the way through Saturday and Sunday. As always, put where you're watching from on your forecast, or where you're watching this forecast from today. We have Henry watching from Lubbock, Texas. We appreciate you jumping in here, Henry. Lubbock, Texas, included in that fire danger today. Just to the east of Lubbock, you've got an elevated fire risk, and then we have that critical fire risk in the western side of Oklahoma and portions of the Texas Panhandle. That shifts down to the south for tomorrow, and then we don't have a fire risk on Sunday. However, I do think that will change. Now let's go to what I think a lot of people have been waiting for. What about that snow? All right, I've seen a lot of models across social media saying snow in Oklahoma, snow in Alabama. Do you believe that? Do you think that you're gonna get snow down in Alabama? You know what, we did last year at this time. So it's possible, right? I think the big question here is how far south will those cold temperatures go? Because you're not getting snow if it's 34 degrees outside, not in Alabama. Maybe in Illinois, not in Alabama. You're not getting snow if we're sitting right along that freezing line. You need those colder temperatures to drop farther down to the south. So I think that's the big question here. The second question is, how dry is it? I just told you how dry it's going to be. If we don't have enough moisture, you can't get even any rain, let alone snow. So yeah, I see the models here. They're trying to put snow in Oklahoma, the western side of the Texas Panhandle as well. We've got even some snow as far south as Tennessee and maybe even the northern portions of Georgia. But again, how dry is it? Maybe a few flurries. If you go outside and you look hard enough, maybe you could see a few flurries out there, but not enough to cover the ground. Where you're going to see more accumulation is farther up to the north in the Midwest, and then maybe we could get just a few sprinkles farther down to the south. Better chances for rain in places like Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. You can see that rain just along the East Coast here. We've got 2 rounds of snow and rain, one that's coming in later today, and another that's coming in this weekend. Taking a look at the 5-day rain chances, now I did tell you that your drought is going to expand across the middle of the U.S. Unfortunately, that rain just sneaks right past Oklahoma, Kansas, and the western side of Texas, the places that need it the most. I said earlier, this rain must be from the Midwest because it said, oh, let me sneak right past you there. It's all because of this high pressure system that's sitting anywhere from the central to the western side of the U.S. Basically what happens is this high pressure system, it acts like a dome, and it blocks out any moisture and cooler temperatures from entering that dome. So we stay dry, most likely no snow, no rain across Oklahoma and Texas. Better chances for wet weather into the Midwest and off the East Coast. Now I saw that we have Lubbock, Texas watching us today. Do we have anyone else jumping on? Any Texas Aggies out there? Tulsa, Oklahoma watching today as well. We appreciate you guys watching from Tulsa. Did you guys get any sprinkles this afternoon in Tulsa? I saw a little bit of rain pop up on the radar, but I didn't know if it was reaching the ground or not. Here's your future radar. I showed this to you earlier, but I like to show it twice just in case you missed it. Now let's talk temperatures. I told you that the farther south that cold air goes, the better chances for snow. Do we think we can get down below 32 in places like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia? Ooh, I see it early Saturday morning, 32 degrees in Memphis. Can we get any colder? No, we are sitting right along that freezing line. It looks like a lot of us are going to sit right along that freezing line. So we've got 34 in Oklahoma City, early Saturday morning, or Saturday evening, excuse me. Again, sitting on that freezing line is not going to get you any snow. You need to be colder than that. Dallas, Texas watching as well. Dallas, your evening plans on Saturday, you're at the low 40s. You need a jacket for that. Fayetteville, Arkansas, also watching today. Fayetteville, Arkansas, your temperatures are also going to be in the low 30s for your overnight lows on both Saturday morning and Sunday morning. And hey, I called you out earlier, Texas Aggie watching from Texarkana. It's good to see you again. Texarkana, temperatures are going to be in the 40s by Sunday evening, 30s on Monday morning. And we also have Indianapolis on here. Thanks for joining us. You're a lot colder up in Indianapolis than we are down in the south. You guys are going to see temperatures below zero on early Monday morning. There's that cold air. Again, if we could push that a little bit farther south, you'd have better chances for snow. So right now, I'm saying your snow chance on some of these southern states are very low. I give you a 5 to 10% chance for snow. And even at that, if it does happen, your likelihood for snow accumulation across the ground is going to be very, very low. Most likely what you're going to see, because it is so dry out there, are teeny tiny little snowflakes that look like dandruff. They'll blow around thanks to these strong winds, and they probably won't accumulate to anything. So no snow days in our forecast here. Moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the temperature drop. We're on this roller coaster ride, a little bit warmer yesterday, colder today. We stay colder for tomorrow as well, for Saturday. We warm back up on Sunday. The U.S. is divided with this. Cold out to the east, warmer in the plains. We go back down on Monday. Temperatures just up, down, up, down, up, down. That's what we're seeing all the way through the end of next week. And I think finally at the end of next week, that's when things start to change. Actually, I'm watching for more moisture to come in the 21st through the 25th. So we're talking about the end of next week. We're going to see more moisture across the places that need it the most. Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri. We need moisture in Illinois as well. They also have a drought in this area. Things start to change. We don't have that high pressure system in the west anymore, holding this very stubborn pattern in place. Things start to change at the very end of January. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. Make sure that you come back for your forecast, especially to the middle of late next week. At the very beginning of next week, we will be at IRE, the International Roofing Expo, and we'll be going live from IRE, showing you the booth that HailTrace has, and some of our other friends at IRE will join us for some of those recordings as well. So even though the weather's kind of quiet next week, make sure that you join us. And then the weather gets a little bit more active as we head into the end of January, so we'll keep an eye on that for you. Alrighty, John, did I miss any questions today? Are we all good? Answered all of your questions. Thanks for joining us on this Friday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox. Make sure that you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and if you are interested in a wind, hail, or tornado map, this is the best time of year to get back and go over those storms that you may have missed back in May and June and July when it was really busy. You can see all of those storms from not only this year, but also years in the past. Give us a call at 855-324-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com or head over to our website, hailtrace.com. I got that number wrong. How in the world did I get it wrong? I've been saying that for like a year and a half now. 855-334-4245. I'm surprised that's not ingrained in my brain at this point. All right, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and I'll see you back here same time, same place on Monday.